What's up everybody, welcome back to a brand new video on Lexalexus. Today, we've made it to match day 44. It's time for some more score predictions this weekend. We've got 11 championship games to predict. We've got a handful of Premier League games. And we've got 2 FA Cup semi-final games taking place this weekend as well. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see my Premier League and my FA Cup semi-final predictions. You could get involved, especially with the Premier League predictions, if you want to get involved in the Premier League Prediction League. The FA Cup games are there for just a little bit of fun, just to throw some extra spice with our predictions this weekend. But the main focus today is going to be my predictions for the Championship, because we could see a lot of things happen this weekend. Sheffield United will be on the cusp of promotion as Luton and Middlesbrough play up against each other. We could very sadly see Wigan relegated, and in fact we could also see Blackpool relegated as well if results do not go their way. So a lot on stake in this weekend of Championship football today. If you guys enjoyed the video, please smash that like button. It does really help. I'm not going to be really present this week. I've got exams coming up and I'm really exhausted with them at the moment, but definitely nearing the tail end of the Championship season, I'm going to be more free, more available, and I'm definitely going to round up my content with a huge bang, hopefully. Thank you guys for the terrific support as always. Please hit that subscribe button. That really does help the growth of this channel as well. Nearly at 2,000 subscribers, dare I say. 3 subscribers away. Last time I checked to 1,700 subscribers. It'll be amazing if we can get there. Thank you guys as always for the support, and please share the channel too. All these things help as well. But without any further ado, let's start predicting this weekend's Championship games. Let's go for Birmingham and Blackpool to start things off. Both teams with contrasting results in their midweek game. Blackpool losing at home to West Brom, where West Brom themselves have picked up on their form, which I'll elaborate a little bit later on. Birmingham picked up a brilliant away win actually against Millwall, just exposing once again Millwall's goal scoring problems, but it's a brilliant typical defensive performance by Birmingham, and if they did not have any doubts they were safe, they're most definitely safe now, and mathematically as well. They've done a cracking job, Birmingham, with their off-the-field issues to get themselves safe. With that sort of points return already, I am very pleased with them here. So maybe they could go to this game with a little bit more of a relaxed attitude going into this game. Blackpool, on the other hand, have to win, and no ifs or buts. They're coming on 38 points with 43 games being played. They could get relegated if they lose in this game, and we see QPR, Huddersfield and Reading pick up at least a point, and for Reading's case they'll have to win their games. So Blackpool really cannot afford to allow these teams just above them to creep a little bit more ahead. But a win here though, it would actually put Blackpool, shockingly enough, back in the conversation to potentially fight for survival. But Blackpool can't really step a foot wrong from here on in. And as a prediction, I've got more confidence right now with this Birmingham side. I truly think that they've got a really good foundation on. I don't think there'll be many goals though. I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory to the Blues. I feel like Birmingham will lower their pace a little bit, but I think they'll still offer enough, and Blackpool will just be frustrated, unfortunately. Let me know what you think about in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Bristol City versus Rotherham. So both teams involved once again in midweek. Bristol City were involved with a narrow 1-0 defeat to Sheffield United, where they weathered the storm and actually kept Sheffield United very frustrated actually, and looked like that they could be a potential stumbling block for almost the inevitable second place team finishes in the Championship. But they did unfortunately lose their sort of organisation right in the final part of that game. Rotherham, they picked up an home point against top of the league Burnley. Now I tell you this, a point rarely gets praised on here, but considering how close this bottom 6-7 is, a point especially against top of the league Burnley is a huge result for Rotherham. Now, I'm not glossing over with their relegation struggles. They have only got a 3-point gap from that bottom 3. And right now, I do think Rotherham, I've got some really tough games coming up. For prediction here, Bristol City do typically play quite well at Ashton Gate, but Rotherham have been picking up quite a few draws pretty recently actually. So Rotherham have actually picked up 3 draws in their last 5 games. That's a prediction. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Rotherham are good enough to get a point. And honestly, I think by that time, especially if Reading do not win their game this weekend, that might honestly just be enough to get a 4-point gap from the bottom 3 now. So Rotherham could really look at this game with some motivation. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Burnley and QPR is next. Now, I'm not too sure what to predict in this game, to be honest, because Burnley have definitely put their foot off the gas since getting automatically promoted. They are not quite champions yet since Sheffield United won their game last weekend, but they are within touching distance of being champions. In fact, winning this game, they'll be on 95 points and Sheffield United cannot catch that. So all they've got to do, Burnley, to be champions is beat QPR. And honestly, right now, you'd feel like anyone could potentially give QPR a big game right now. Although, I will give them credit. They actually managed to not lose in midweek. They drew 1-1 against Norwich City. And once again, I've been speaking about how much a point can really help, actually. Had they lost that game, for instance, they'd be on 43 points and they would really be in danger getting sucked into that bottom 3. So that point really does separate QPR from Reading right now, who occupy the final relegation place. So the margins are excruciatingly small going into this. But honestly, even with Burnley losing Nathan Tella to injury now, I think Burnley could wipe the floor with this QPR team, to be honest. It sounds quite ignorant of me, but I think Burnley are really going to be a team that's just going to function on short-term motivations. And I think winning the league officially, picking up a win here, might just do that. So as a prediction, I'm going to go for 4-1 victory to Burnley. With their goal scoring and QPR slack defence, I don't really back it to keep many Burnley's attacks out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Cardiff versus Stoke. So Cardiff giving themselves a huge boost for the relegation fight by picking up an emphatic 3-1 away victory against Watford. Now, it increases their space from the bottom 3 by 2 points with a game in hand against Rotherham. So right now, Cardiff and Rotherham really trying to build up as many points as they can, knowing that they have to play against each other again. But that is a crucial win. And with Stoke, they had promising form, and now all of a sudden they've had 3 defeats in their last 4. So Cardiff could look at this game in perfect timing. And you'd think now, if Cardiff pick up 48 points with a 5-point gap from Reading with only 2 game weeks left, you should feel for Cardiff that one more win will give them championship survival. And as a prediction here, I am going to predict that. I'm more confident with Cardiff's form in the moment. I'm going to go for 2-1 victory to the Bluebirds to get something from this game. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Coventry versus Reading. So both of these teams were involved with a 1-1 draw in their midweek game in very controversial and very dramatic circumstances for both. So, Reading were involved with a 1-1 draw with Luton Town, and I've got to say, that is a stunning result for Reading, considering how unstoppable Luton Town felt with their push to try and catch Sheffield United. That has obviously given Sheffield United a really big boost for the fact that Reading have made Luton Town drop points. You know, it's 2 draws actually now for Noel Hunt since he's taken over as caretaker manager here. Coventry were involved with their top 6-pointer against Blackburn and were losing for most of that game. But their goalkeeper, Ben Wilson, pops up with a 95th minute equaliser. I mean, we've seen incredible moments with goalkeepers this season. I'm thinking of Sonny Dieng's equaliser against Sunderland as well. This is another goalkeeper last minute equaliser. The limbs that you see with that are absolutely outrageous. It's something that we don't see every day, and we've been blessed to see that moment happen at least in 2 occasions this season. I think with this game, Coventry should look at this as a big opportunity. Reading need to try and pick up 3 points here right now. They are still within the bottom 3. They're not out of it by all means, but if Cardiff, Rotherham and QPR start picking up wins at this point, it does give Reading a bit of a mountain to climb, especially with only 2 games for most teams after this. So right now, Reading need to get moving right now and turn those draws into wins. But as a prediction, I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Coventry, with them being at home at the CBS Arena. They're pretty strong there. And I just think with the squad that they've got to offer, I actually feel like they might have enough. And I think Reading don't have Andy Carroll as well, because I believe, if I remember seeing the highlights, he got red carded. So I am going to go for a 2-1 victory to Coventry. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Hull versus Watford. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in this game? Both have had really bad results. Both lost by 3-1 in their midweek games. Hull right bang slap in the middle of the table and have not really picked up too many wins at this late stage of the season now, probably excluding a couple of great home games against West Brom and Millwall. So maybe they can have another one here against a Watford team where right now it's just a team of individuals. I listened to Chris Wilder's brutal assessment, and he really did go in with the players only sticking with the game plan for 15 minutes, getting the first goal in the game, and then they turn to a team of individuals and doesn't even want to call it a team. And that is damning to hear someone who's barely stepped into Watford say that. And right now, I think the players especially have got a lot to answer to following those types of comments. It could have a real good kick up the backside effect and Watford could surge in results, or it could have the reverse psychology where Watford completely drowned tools if they weren't doing so already. As a prediction, I see loads of goals in this game actually. I think Hull, nothing to play for. Watford now, I've got to be honest, nothing to play for either. Why not? Let's give an entertaining 2-2 draw. I think both teams' defences have not been great. Both teams can score a couple of great goals. I'll go 2-2. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Norwich versus Swansea. So, Norwich managed to pick up a draw against QPR. And I've got to be honest, at Carrow Road, I'm picking up a draw against a QPR side who've only won 2 games since Ainsworth has come in. It's not good enough. Norwich are currently 10th place in the table with only 1 win in 5. But it's not impossible for them to be in the top 6. You know, that just shows you how close the whole table is. They're only 2 points off Blackburn. Obviously, Blackburn have a game in hand with that being against Burnley, of course, as I keep reminding everyone. But honestly, if Norwich can win this game, which is easier said than done against an informed Swansea team, then I genuinely think that Norwich could have the momentum there. But as I was saying with Swansea, they are a team on the rise at the moment, and they had a brilliant victory against Preston in midweek, a 4-2 victory there. Allen and of course Joel Pirro managing to be the main entertainers for Swansea's part to leap Swansea over the line, and that's 4 wins in their last 5 games. Where is this form from Swansea when most of us predictors predicted at the start of the season? So it's a shame that I think Swansea are going to come short. I mean, they are only 5 points off the top 6 thinking about it, but I do think now with only 3 games left, it's too late for Swansea to overturn a deficit. They'll have to win every single game, and they'll have to try and make over a 4-point deficit with the teams above them as well, and hope that they don't pick up those amount of points. I just think it's too much of ask for, but I actually think Swansea could win this game. I'm going for a 2-1 away victory to Swansea. Probably a result that not many people are going to be predicting unless they are looking how impressive Swansea have been. I'm going to go for the informed team to get something there. It's been very typical of Norwich to just get one brilliant result out of nowhere, and this could be it. But I'll back the Swans. I've not done it a lot this season, so I'll give them a benefit of the doubt here. I'm going to go 2-1 Swansea. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Wigan versus Millwall. So, as I was explaining with Blackpool, the stakes are incredibly high for Wigan Athletic. They did pick up a win in midweek, which was an away win against Stoke City, which has kept Wigan just about alive within the Championship. They are only 1 point behind Blackpool. Of course, the maximum points they can pick up is 46, but if they lose this game here, then they have got to really hope that Reading do not get a point against Coventry, because if they do, then we're going to down, because then the maximum points that they can get is 43, and the last relegation place is on 43. So even just talking about the maths side of it, I can't believe I'm even figuring this out. So if Wigan don't win, max they can get is 43, 21st is 44, yeah. So Wigan loses, they're down. So stakes are incredibly high for Wigan Athletic to try and get something here. A win, as I said, the same thing with Blackpool, will make things a little bit interesting going into the final stages of this season. They, however, got to face a Millwall team where they right now will be wanting to try and secure their place within the top 6. They had a pretty poor defeat, I've got to say, against Birmingham. While they did push and push and push, once again showing a bit of exposure for how much they're struggling to find goals. That's 4 games in their last 5 that Millwall have not been able to score a goal. So is their lack of goals going to be the reason why they may not get into the top 6 in the end? They could fall out of it if results don't go their way this weekend, and Wigan will be fighting for their lives. But despite that, I have a feeling it's going to be very cagey, and I think Millwall, with their experience, will get a 1-0 victory, which will send Wigan down to League One for the first time of asking. I think it's going to be very, very tight, but I'm going to go 1-0 Millwall. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Preston going up against Blackburn. So we've got a Lancashire derby between Preston and Blackburn here. Both sides arguably with devastating results. Preston being battered by 4-2, and that's 2 defeats in a row for Ryan Lowe's Preston. Honestly looking at having a favourable run in to try and get into the top 6, but right now they've not really taken that opportunity, and Preston are going to have to hope for a little bit of a miracle now to get into that top 6. I know it's not impossible, but they're below Norwich in the table, and it's a 2-point gap. They'll just have to win 2 at least of their last 3 games if Preston are going to have any sort of chance, in my opinion, of getting into the top 6. Now they face a Blackburn team where Preston should look at this being motivated to try and beat Blackburn to potentially swap places with them within the table. That would be a really good sense of mentality for Preston to try and think of it that way. Blackburn were ahead for a lot of the game against Coventry midweek. Obviously, they conceded a last-minute goal to a goalkeeper, and that would have been a real crucial 3 points if Blackburn would have held on there. But could that draw cost them their place? It really could. As I said, the margins are very slim this year, and right now any little decision, any little moment could really change everything. And as a prediction here, I'm actually going to go for Preston to have a little bit of fight back here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Preston, with then having the home crowd there, and I do think with that motivation to try and overtake Blackburn to steal their place within the top 6 might be enough of an incentive for Preston here. So I'm going to go 2-1 Preston. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is West Brom versus Sunderland. West Brom have really turned it around, I've got to say. Back-to-back wins for them now, back-to-back away wins, 2-1 against Stoke and then 2-0 against Blackpool here. And it has put West Brom in a really commanding position now to get within the top 6. They are just slightly out of it, only 1 point behind Blackburn, but they have got 4 games left, and not many teams in the Championship have got 4 games to potentially get to that position there. I'd definitely back them over Millwall right now to get one of the top 6 places right now, which really just put the pressure on Millwall. But West Brom got to get the job done. Sunderland as well would realise that beating West Brom here could definitely give them a little bit of an edge to get into the top 6, because Sunderland just seem to still get into the conversation of getting into that top 6. They're on 62 points and have drawn 3 out of their last 5, but they are only 2 points behind Blackburn. And right now, with good results here, they really could be in the top 6. So what's going to happen here? I think we're going to see a load of goals in this game. I really like what both of these teams are doing going forward. So as a prediction, I'm going to go for a high scoring 3-2 West Brom. I think West Brom have now started to click. I think we had an individuals problem there. They're now starting to operate as a team more effectively now. And this will be the ultimate test if they can do that against a really good side like Sunderland. So I'm going to go 3-2 West Brom. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Final game to predict, guys, is the big one. Luton versus Middlesbrough. So I said a result in this game will literally put Sheffield United within touching distance of getting promotion. And that outcome is a draw. So if both sides were to draw this game, Luton could get a maximum of 82 points and Sheffield United are exactly on 82 points. It doesn't quite send Sheffield United up for them because obviously Luton could still outdo them with a goal difference somehow maybe. Middlesbrough, if they win this game, they will be within touching distance still. Ultimately, Luton are going to want to have a win here because the maximum points they can get is 84. I mean, both of these sides will be quivering with what Sheffield United do with their final 4 games, but Sheffield United know a win either way means that Luton and Middlesbrough are cancelled out of the equation of getting into that second place here. And right now, this game could really set like the tone for Sheffield United to wrap up this promotion here. But I'm going to be intrigued with this game because I expect both of them will be within the top 6 now and fighting for playoffs. It's now going to be interesting to see which team's looking the most strong momentum-wise getting into that stage of the season. Now, Luton have done really, really well quite recently. I think the one below par performance quite recently was actually their most recent performance with their 1-1 draw against Reading. Middlesbrough have been doing fantastically well, scoring 8 home goals in their last 2 games, but have been struggling on the road quite recently. And I think that might be the factor that decides where I'm going here. As a prediction, I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 Luton Town win. I was thinking a draw, but I feel a little bit brave this week. I want to back one of these teams to get something here. And that, for me, will secure 3rd place for Luton. I feel like whoever wins this game will get 3rd place and will occupy a little advantage, dare I say, going into the top 6, since 3rd place has to play 6th place within the championship. So I'm going to go 2-1 Luton. Never know what you think in the comments down below. So guys, these are my predictions for the 11 championship games, and obviously I've talked about my predictions for the Premier League and the FA Cup games as well. We've got a weird one of midweek games actually coming straight after this actually. So I'm hoping to maybe get a video or something of this sort coming out, maybe a community post more realistically, to cover those midweek games later on this week. But as I said, I'm going to be very, very quiet on my socials this week as I'm knuckling down with revision and stuff. But you guys are going to get this video today as like a final little thing before I knuckle down and try and hopefully get this exam out of the way. If you guys enjoyed what you saw today, please smash that like button. It really, really does help the growth of this channel. Please do hit that subscribe button too. That really helps as well. And please share the channel too. All of this really, really helps as well. I cannot believe that we've only got 2 more of these to make after week 44. Crazy. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary for tuning in this video. And as always, I'll see you guys soon. Take care, everyone.